this is where I make people uncomfortable, and I don't give two damns about it. Y'all full of it. And that's really, it really ticks me off with
Stephen,
that. It really bothers me about that.
The deeper issue is business as usual for those people.
This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Ladies and gentlemen, you can get the links, and also you can buy the products right from the bottom of this particular video. You can actually get them in any video that I have now that they're synchronized, but you can go on to the Officer Tatum Store or Tatum Store. I shortened it up so you don't have to type all that. Or you can hit the link in the description section. All you have to do is put in discount code that's on the screen and use that discount code to get 20% off. The discount code is flashing on the screen as I'm speaking. Use that discount code to get 20% off Tatum Store. Make sure you go shop today. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notification anytime I go live, make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to the channel. Like this video. Come on, share this video. Let's get into this. Maybe I'm talking about it too much. Maybe, maybe not. My goal is to hope that another person who's black or white, who have a previous idea about America and what's going on in America and the thoughts of a black man, that they could listen to this and find some resolve. And even people who agree with me, that you can have some ammunition to talk to your neighbor, your best friend, or your family member about these issues, to inform you, impact you, to talk about issues that are hard to talk about. Anybody can talk about conservative values, but how do you talk to your family members who don't get it? That's why I say the things that I say. And people like Stephen A. Smith is another example of black leaders who could actually make a world of a difference for black people in America and not leave us in a position where we are, generally speaking, I would argue one of the biggest problems in America. Not all, but when you look at the voting, you say disproportionately black people vote 80, 90% for Democrats. Democrats are ruining America, hands down. Disproportionately, black people are representing the ruining of America. You talk about the crime rate. You know, half of the murders in our country are perpetuated by black men, mostly black men. Half of all violent crimes, black men. Disproportionately represented in abortion. Disproportionately represented in the prison system. Disproportionately attacking police officers. I mean, you can go out disproportionately uneducated. Disproportionately low income, low median income, low net worth. Disproportionately in every negative category, black people have been falling disproportionately. Look at the music, disproportionately. Most violent music you're going to listen to, the most detrimental music that you will listen to is probably rap music, disproportionately represented by black males. I mean, like, I'm glad that I'm a man of God and I don't have to be associated with one race. I'm of the human race, and I'm a man of God and I love everybody the same, and I'm just as part of every group there is, because I believe we all came from the same God. But man, if I had to be bound by picking a side and being a part of a group, I mean, it is some things that black Americans do are just embarrassing. Embarrassing. Stephen A. Smith, making millions, baby. That man been on radio since I was in diapers, peeing in the bed. He has to be making millions and millions of dollars for the last, I don't know, couple decades. And a man that works for a white organization, a man with that much experience, working with white people, working with black people, being in sports, a man that makes that much money. I'm sure he live in an all-white neighborhood that's gated. He will get on television and say what I'm about to play for you guys that he said. It's mind-blowing to me. I would imagine that he's a smarter guy than me. I thought he was. What would make him say something this ignorant? Now, we got the clip for you. Roll the clip.
You could have fired them. You could have handled it differently. They put him on Front Street with his personal business. And I happen to know many occasions where that never happened to people who look a lot differently than me or you. I happen to know that. You understand? This is where I make people uncomfortable, and I don't give two damns about it. Y'all full of it. And that's really, it really ticks me off with
Stephen
that.
A.,
it really bothers me about
that. The deeper issue is it's business as usual for those people, not for us.
Well, I understand that.
Not for us. We don't get that. Grant.
And which is why we can't absolve Ime Udoka.
That's why I started
we can't do that. But what we can do is point out the inconsistency. The inconsistency. When you talk about black folks and what we're really aspiring for, what you're talking about fair and equal treatment, not just under the law, but period. When you, no matter what we do, what may disgust us as a people, if you do to everybody what you do to us, we're going to go like this. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes.
Let me interject. I'm gonna let him finish, but let me just interject real quick. Mind you, y'all, he's talking about the Celtics head coach that cheated on his wife with another woman on the staff who cheated on her husband. This is unbecoming of a employee. What example, brother, are you showing your team? I don't care if you're black, green, or orange. What example are you showing your team when you smashing another woman and you got a wife? You the head coach. You're not an assistant. You're not the water boy. You the freaking head coach. Why are you comparing it to white people, brother? You need to sit down somewhere and think about it. Then it get worse. It get worse. They suspended him. And the interim coach is a black man. That they now got rid of that coach who was character that was unbecoming of the organization to now hire the interim coach who was black. And that coach has taken them to an incredible record. If I'm not mistaken, he's done well for them. What are you talking about, Stephen A? These are our leaders. These are people that we supposed to look up to, and they are dumber than a bag of rocks. You can't make the point that it's racist when you got the black man doing something he had no business doing. They replace him with another black man that is far more successful, in my opinion. Well, I can say far more successful. I think he did a good job when he was the coach too. But the new coach, the interim coach, who's black, who's doing very well. And that's somehow racial prejudice. They replaced the black man with a black man. They didn't replace a black man with a white man. They replaced a black man with another black man who deserved it. It wasn't because he was affirmative action hire. I think he was already on the staff, was he? He was already on the staff. They made him the interim, and then they gave him the job. Why? Because he deserved it. But Stephen A. got to make it about race. Let's finish that clip.
When we talk about police brutality, what are we talking about here? We're talking about the fact that you see unarmed black men getting shot, but white folks shooting at cops and they get arrested. Murdering folks and they get arrested. Getting stopped at Burger King for crying out loud. The inequity of the treatment is what we're talking about. Obviously a case.
All right. Let me interject. Stephen A., you're wrong again. Stopped at a Burger King. Brother, are you talking about Rashard Brooks? Stephen A., don't tell me you talking about Rashard Brooks. He wasn't stopped at a Burger King. He passed out in the drive-thru because he was drunk. Then they tried to detain him, and he fought them. He beat up 2 police officers, took the taser from one of them. He's running up the street, and according to Georgia law, pointing a taser at somebody is deadly force. He points the taser at the police officer, shoot it at him, and they used deadly force against him. He died. Brother, come on, man. Hold the phone. Let me get back to Stephen A. Snitchy. Stephen McSnitchy, Stephen A. Smith, is the example of ruining the black community, in my opinion. He gets on television and he's just nutty. He was trying to compare Rashard Brooks, talking about you just get pulled over in the parking lot at the Wendy's. Well, he actually said Jack in the Box or something. I think it was a Wendy's. Or he said Burger King. It was actually a Wendy's. So, no, you as a black man in America, quit lying to all the young boys. You don't get pulled over and killed just because you're in a Jack in the Box parking lot. It's because you're drunk, which you could have killed a whole bunch of people on the road. But then when the cops make contact with you, you don't just act like you got sense. You got to fight. You got to run. And you got to point a taser at a cop and try to shoot him in the face with it. And that's how you get your shot. It ain't because you're black. It's because your actions. And then Stephen A. Smith is dumb enough to not do any research. Anybody with the connected brainstem can do just a little, just get on the computer. We live in 2023. You could type some on the computer. They got AI that can research for you. Go on the computer and see how many white people get shot by police versus black people. Twice as many white people get shot by police. So Stephen A., put your thinking cap on. Just because you see more black people don't mean there's more black people getting shot. You see black people because people are choosing to cover that. You think people getting smothered to death and killed like George Floyd. Tony Temple was killed in a worse way than George Floyd was, but he ain't never going to make the news. Stephen A. Smith will never know about that because he won't do an ounce of research to do anything. He just blurting out top of his head. Bro, stick to sports. I think you got some pretty decent sports commentary. You don't know nothing about politics. You know nothing about police shooting. You know nothing about the true black experience. Stephen A. Smith been living the white experience that they claim, the white privilege experience for a very long time now. Bro, when you making over $1 million, you ain't living in a black neighborhood. When was the last time Stephen A. Smith lived in the hood? Okay, I don't even have to go there. Finish rolling the clip because I wanted to watch the rest of this crap.
Like this has nothing to do with the violence that I just brought up, but we're talking about the inequity, the inequality, the inconsistency, and the flagrant hypocrisy that exists out in this world. And y'all gonna sit up and everybody just say, well, Ime Udoka shouldn't have done it. Damn right he shouldn't have done it. Damn right he should be fired. Fine, I'm good with it. No problem.
The way they went about it was wrong.
Boston Celtics.
Now, there's a difference between saying the way they went about it is wrong versus saying the way they went about it was wrong because he's black. Listen, why can't black people be held to a higher standard? Why do we got to do everything the white man do? If y'all want to say, y'all want to put yourself in a group, why can't black people do better? Why can't we hold black people to a higher standard? Why are you cheating on your wife and you the head coach and you messing with a girl on the team? Bro, you got to be a scumbag. How are you leading the team? How are you a man that anybody can trust? Bro, you bad for the franchise. Why can't black people be held at a higher standard than white people? If a white man go cheat on his wife, that's fine. The black people don't do stuff like that because we're held to a higher standard. Oh, no, you can't do that. You want black people to be held to a lower standard. You want a black man to go cheat on his wife, embarrass the franchise, and you want nothing to happen to him or him to be treated like anybody else. Because you can't be held higher. He has to be held to the same or lower. No, black people don't have to follow instructions when they get pulled over. Why would they do that? A black man don't have to not run from the police and fight cops and commit crimes every day. Black people should be able to do that and get away with it. Because if a white man do it, they somehow don't get killed. Shut up, fool. You ain't looking at nothing. Go look on police. It's a YouTube channel called Police. Dang, I can't think of the name of that channel. What is it, Nick? We gonna use the body-worn camera for that. I'll get it in a minute. Go look on that police channel, and they got body-worn camera. Police activity. How many followers they got? 4.4 million people follow that channel. I watch that channel all the time. They just randomly put up body-worn cameras of police shootings. Brother, cops are out here smoking everybody, and 99% of them deserve it. And you got to go in there. You don't just see black people. You see them killing white people. I saw them shoot a man who just beheaded a woman. Then they blurred out her head on the floor in the corner. But the cops walk in. Oh, my God, he beheaded her. And this fool got a knife. He like a Mexican guy. They had to smoke him on the bed. There's so many videos that I've seen on there. People high-speed chases. One of my friends, donut operator, he make videos about police encounters. Man, they shooting people on the freeway and everything, and they white. Stephen A. ain't looked at no facts. You ask me, white people are actually disproportionately shot and killed by police over black people. Why do you say that, Brandon? Well, just look at statistical data. How often are police officers patrolling in inner city communities? At a high rate, a rate much higher than any of these white communities. The reason why is because the number I told you earlier, half of the murders are committed by black men in America. Over half of all violent crimes are committed by black men. That's why the police officers are always in these communities full of black men. It's not because they black, it's because they committed crimes. And don't you tell me that I'm lying. Because our God is my witness. There ain't a single person that's going to call in today and tell me they live in the hood. And they not trying to get out the hood. Come on, bro. I grew up in Fort Worth, Texas, and I went to school in Stop 6. Now, I don't think that Stop 6 is nowhere near as bad as Watts, California. nowhere near as bad as the South Side of Chicago. It ain't even close. And and you ain't walking down the street in Stop 6 by yourself at night. And you never know what happened to you. You pull up somewhere in the wrong color zone, Miller and Berry, you may have a confrontation. You know, it's like, why we got to lie about this stuff? Why Stephen A. got to act like it's the white man, and all this other stuff, man? That's why, Stephen A., that's why you live around number white people, because you ain't finna live in the hood. It's too dangerous. Ask Nipsey Hussle, is it too dangerous? Ask Extension, is it too dangerous? Ask Young Dolph, is it too dangerous? You want to go on? Oh, we can't ask them because they're dead right now. Because they got shot by another black man in the hood. Even the one, the Migo, what's his name? Which Migo died? I forget which Migos died. Offset or Takeoff. I think his name was Takeoff. He got murdered at a birthday party. Takeoff. Fools shooting dice get mad. They didn't murder the boy. Ask them, is it safe or not? Hold the phone. I'll be back after the break.